It's like opening the door to a whole new world of possibilities for cancer detection and treatment. What an incredible time to be alive. Ever wish we had a crystal ball for cancer? You know, a way to see what it's going to do before it even happens.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the dream, right? Early detection. That's what everyone's after. And the research we're diving into today, well, it could be a game changer.
It really could. This study opens up some incredible possibilities for how we diagnose and treat cancer in the future.
We're talking about a paper, fresh off the presses. March 2023, MiSelect R system, the validation of a new detection system of CTCs, and their correlation with prognosis in non-metastatic CRC patients.
Quite a mouthful.
It is. But the findings,
Yeah,
totally worth deciphering. Chunchi Lin and his team, they're onto something big here.
they are. And to understand why this is such a big deal, we have to talk about these, well, they're like escape artists circulating tumor cells, CTCs for short.
Okay, so imagine this. Cancer cells, they break free from the main tumor, and they're like, let's hitch a ride in the bloodstream. Those are your CTCs. They're the reason cancer can spread.
Exactly right. And if we can catch those CTCs early, before they get a chance to spread and cause more trouble, that's a game changer.
That's what we're all hoping for, right?
It is. And that's what makes this research so exciting.
Yeah.
This team's figured out a way to not only find these tiny, almost invisible cells, but they're also starting to understand what their presence means for patients, especially in those earlier stages of cancer when we have the best shot at stopping it.
So we've known about these CTCs for a while now, haven't we? What makes this research different?
That's right. They're not exactly a new discovery. But here's the thing. Most of the research so far has focused on finding CTCs in patients with metastatic cancer.
Ah, okay, so later stages when the cancer's already spread.
Exactly. But this team, they decided to flip the script. They wanted to see if they could track these cells in patients with non-metastatic colorectal cancer.
So looking for clues early on before it has a chance to spread.
Precisely.
That's a smart mice.
Yeah.
But how do you even begin to find these microscopic things in a sea of blood cells? It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Well, that's where their secret weapon comes in this new technology called the MiSelect R system. Imagine a system so precise it can pick out a single cancer cell hiding amongst millions of others in a tiny drop of blood.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking serious microscopic detective work here.
We are. And they didn't stop there. They also made a really interesting discovery about where these CTCs like to hang out. They compared blood samples taken from the arm, your typical blood draw, with samples taken from the mesenteric vein.
Now remind me, the mesenteric vein, that's the one that...
It carries blood directly from the intestines to the liver, so it's much closer to where the original tumor is located.
Ah, okay, so we're talking about blood near the scene of the crime.
Exactly.
What did they find?
They hit the jackpot. The number of CTCs they found in the mesenteric vein blood, it was significantly higher than in the blood from the arm.
Ah, so it's like searching the prison yard instead of just any random street corner. Makes sense.
Exactly.
But here's the million-dollar question. Did finding these CTCs actually tell them anything useful about how the patients were doing? I mean, that's what we really want to know.
And that's where it gets even more interesting. They found a strong link between the number of CTCs in the mesenteric vein blood before surgery and how advanced the patient's cancer was.
So the more CTCs, the more advanced the cancer.
In a nutshell, yes.
Okay, that makes sense. But could these tiny cells also tell them if the cancer was more likely to come back? I mean, that's the big fear, right?
Exactly, and that's what they were hoping to find out. And get this, even the presence of a single CTC in the blood near the tumor before surgery, just one, was linked to a higher risk of the cancer coming back.
Wait, hold on. They found that even one of these tiny cells in the blood could mean the cancer might come back. Now, that's what I call a wake-up call. So we're talking about a simple blood test, and it could actually predict if the cancer comes back.
That's incredible.
It is pretty amazing, and it gets even better. They also found that even after surgery, finding CTCs in those follow-up blood tests, it still meant the patient might not be out of the woods. So even after treatment, it can still give us valuable information, like having a security system that keeps watching for trouble, even after the first alarm.
Exactly. It really shows how important that ongoing monitoring is, even after the main tumor's gone.
Okay, so we've talked about the what and the how. Now, for the big question, what does this all mean for the average person? What's the takeaway here?
Imagine a future where a simple blood test could help us catch cancer super early, even before you have any symptoms.
Wow.
We're talking about personalized treatment plans based on your specific cancer and your CTC profile. This research could completely change how we approach cancer care, leading to more effective treatments and maybe even less need for those invasive procedures like repeat biopsies.
Trading in our old blurry map for a high-definition GPS system.
That's a great way to put it.
But let's be real. No scientific study is perfect. Were there any limitations to this particular research?
Of course, every study has limitations. This one, for example, had a relatively small sample size.
Okay, so not a huge number of patients.
Right. They only looked at a little over 100 patients with colorectal cancer, so we need larger, more diverse groups to really confirm these findings and see if they hold true for different people.
So bigger studies are definitely needed. Makes sense. What about other types of cancer? Could this technology help patients with other forms of the disease?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This particular study focused specifically on colorectal cancer. So we need more research to see if this approach will work for other types of cancer. But the potential is definitely there, and that's what's so exciting.
It's like opening the door to a whole new world of possibilities for cancer detection and treatment. What an incredible time to be alive.
I agree it's a very exciting time for this field.
Thank you so much for diving into this research with us and sharing your expertise.
It's been my pleasure, really.
And for our listeners, if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, don't stop here. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and stay informed about all the latest advancements in cancer research. Until next time, stay curious.